Welcome back, everybody, to the KSL. We're back for day 2 of a brand new season, and we've got 4 brand new players to kind of showcase to you. A lot of these players were not around for last season, so if you've missed them from just watching Starcraft on KSL, then there are going to be some new faces. So speaking of new faces, how's it going, No Regret?
I'm not a new face, my good sir.
You
I'm a veteran.
skipped an entire season.
I'll have you know I was 1 year old when this game came out, so I am an absolute veteran. Actually, I think it's 3.
You couldn't play that in kindergarten like all the other kids, but
yeah.
It's good to be back for more KSL. I think yesterday the games were quite strange. We got a chance to see the same 2 matchups yesterday that we get a chance to watch today. So if you think that they're going to look the same, then you are sadly mistaken, because those games yesterday were weird.
Yeah, I would say at least Modesty brought it back for interest. You know?
Well, yeah, but Modesty was just like, I micromute it. Like, well, what else do you do? Like,
he's like, I micromute it.
Yeah, and you're just like, well, you know, do you have a diverse play style?
Can you like mutas, my good sir.
Oh,
that's basically what it is. Yeah.
Okay, it's like, you know, can you breathe air and drink water? No, micromutas. That's the only thing. So hopefully we get a chance to really kind of flesh out what these matchups really look like. I will say that maybe today's matches will be a little bit more of a mismatch than yesterday's.
Well, we thought that too yesterday, to be fair.
Oh yeah, well, I guess
that didn't really happen.
But we didn't know we were going to get it ahead of time. So, yeah, we can kind of talk about the players. I think coming up first, we have Snow versus MisO, and then our second matchup is going to be Ample or Sashin versus Shine. Yeah. And I think that should be really interesting because Shine hasn't been in either ASL or KSL for an entire season, and so I don't really know what to expect because this guy is nicknamed the Bag of Builds because he's got these crazy strats.
I don't think you're allowed to have expectations with Shine, to be honest.
Nobody, no matter how good you are, has any idea what Shine is going to pull out today. So it's going to get crazier, but perhaps even than yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really interested to see how the games go.
Yeah. Well, there's
I don't think
only
there's
one way to find out.
Real way to call it, you know.
Yeah, I would say that Shine and a Zerg player are going to get out of this group Snow and a Zerg player are maybe going to get out of this group. But just to give a quick recap in case this is your first time tuning into KSL, here's the way things look. We've got best of 5s for the round of 16 and the quarterfinals, the first round of the playoffs. Then semifinals and finals are both best of 7, which is super unheard of in Brood War, and it makes this tournament really unique because I think it's been 15 years since we did that, and it's never been done before for semifinals. So very, very unique.
Lots of games,
style.
Lots and lots of Starcraft. That's
and of course, lots
of
money there as well at the end.
And we got our maps.
Yeah, our maps are the same as they were yesterday, surprisingly. We start out every match on Overwatch, and then we move on to the pick of the loser. So loser picks, and we do have some polarizing map choices. I think Medusa and Coliseum get banned more than any others, but also Cross Game is a little bit strange too, as a new map to the map pool on ladder at least. Also bringing in Eddie this season, a map that we've seen quite a bit of. And yeah, let me think. I think Cross Game, Eddie, and one of the other ones, Overwatch, are all foreign-made maps, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
So, yeah, really interesting to see so much
foreign map-making talent.
Yeah, just inclusion. Guys like Negative Zero, Freakling, a couple of other map makers really contributing. So, here we go. This is a look at our first map, Overwatch. Twilight map set. We're only suggesting 2 players here, so no matter how much you want to watch a Battle Royale, we only get 2 players here. And I think the big thing is that there are just quite a few expansions that you can go to on your side, and that progressing through the middle of the map is not quite as easy as it looks.
Yeah, I think we had some pretty interesting games yesterday on this map. But yeah, there's nothing too crazy about it, really.
No, I mean, there was a 4-player version of Overwatch way back in the day that was super crazy, but this is not that, so.
There's actually a 6-player version of Overwatch, too.
Got him. Nailed it. Oh. We get paid for that. No, I'm just kidding. Here's a look at the round of 16. We finished Group A yesterday, well, the first trip through Group A. Now Group B today will have Snow versus MisO and Ample versus Shine. And then fast forward through Group C because everybody just wants to get to Group D because Last, Jaedong, Rain, and Stork are making the sickest group of death. And it was exactly the plan.
It just feels unfair. We should have taken one of them and sprinkled them all over, you know?
Yeah, I feel like there should be rules. Like one of these players has to go into each one of the groups because that's just so stacked. It's actually just insane. There's no way that I could predict who's going to come out of that group. And here's a look at today's groups, like I just highlighted. Snow versus MisO, Ample versus Shine. And then we're going to move on to Group C and D and then come back around and do winners and losers matches and then finally the elimination match at the end of it all.
So, how much do you know about Ample?
Well, not a lot, other than...
I don't either.
Well, so there's some things to talk about. From way back in the day when he was like a trainee practice partner, he never really had that much success in Pro League. But I think we'll probably talk a little bit more about that.
Though.
He did qualify, so but he did have a group that was not as difficult as the other groups. Let me say it that way. Yeah, that's a little bit of a recap of the info that we gave you yesterday.
You can get prizes.
Yes, you can win prizes and
that's
stuff.
The big thing.
The biggest way to win prizes is to come here and make a cheerful. That's a little sign that you hold up in the audience. You could probably win a prize there. You got a pretty good chance. Yep. Yesterday's signs were not artists. Art was
they
not
had the one origami guy.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was actually
the
sick.
origami guy was good.
If he made that by hand, then he definitely deserves like a headset.
I'm sure he got
something.
But
yeah.
they showed it, you know.
So come down, make a sign. You can win stuff, or watch the Korean stream while you're logged in with Twitch, and you can win points to spend.
Win points to spend, right?
On stuff. I don't know. Actually,
it's a marketplace.
I don't know what there is. I don't know if you can buy games there or not, but go give it a shot. So yeah, you were talking about Sashin. He is a player. He's one of like a group of players that kind of peaked at the very end of the previous era of Brood War, right around 2011, 2012. And instead of going to Starcraft 2, he did something different. So let's hear more about it.
시즌 2 때 제가 떨어진 게 너무너무 아쉬웠고요. 시즌 3 때도 혹시라도 떨어질까 봐 좀 두려웠었는데 다행히도 올라가가지고 기분이 좋네요. 저는 그래도 리버 같은 거 제일 잘 쓰고 리버랑 캐리어 쪽은 제 전문 담당이라서 그쪽 면의 능력치는 제가 제일 좋은 것 같아요. 제가 뭐 인터뷰 같은 데서는 다 쉬운 상대다 이런 생각으로 말을 했지만 실제로 다 따지고 보면은 쉬운 선수 하나 없고 다 잘하는 선수들이거든요. 조는 정말 만족스럽지만 만반의 준비 다 해서 다 이겨서 올라갈 생각입니다. 너무나 좋았어요. 왜냐면은 이제 저그 유저들이 뭐 김민철 선수, 이재동 선수, 뭐 김명훈 선수 정말 S급인 선수들이 있었는데 S급이 아닌 A급 정도인 한두열 선수가 제 옆으로 왔다는 거는 기회였죠. 네. 강점이 딱히 막 떠오르진 않고요. 약점은 이제 스타일이 확실하다는 거, 그것밖에 안 한다는 거, 그게 단점인 것 같네요. 저는 KSL에서 최고 성적이 8강밖에 안 되기 때문에 좀 만족스럽지 못했었거든요. 이번에는 최소 4강으로 시드 받고 시작하겠습니다.
웨어 아이디에서 미소 아이디로 바꾼 저그 유저 한두열입니다. 당연히 올라와야 된다 이렇게 생각을 하고 있고요. 제가 전 시즌 8강에서 떨어졌는데 이번 시즌은 이제 8강보다는 더 높게 올라가서 시드를 따고 싶다 이런 생각을 하면서 경기에 임하려고 하고 있습니다. 일단 상대를 위축하게 만들고 그걸 이용해서 게임을 많이 풀어나가는 게 저의 강점이라 생각하기 때문에 그걸 적극 이용해서 다전제 승부 펼칠 예정입니다. 최고로 만족스러운 조인 것 같고요. 저만 잘하면, 저만 실수하지 않으면 무조건 8강까지는 올라가지 않을까 싶습니다. 장윤철 선수는 상황을 잘 만들고 병력 움직임이 좋아요. 그 대신 물량이 너무 없기 때문에 한 방에 쭉 밀리는 현상도 많이 보이고 해서 충분히 이길 수 있다고 생각해요. 약한 저그, 뭐 쉬운 저그, 만만한 저그, 맛집 저그가 아닌 시드권을 확보해서 좀 잘하는 저그라는 인식이 강하게 박히도록 열심히 준비해서 4강 이상 가도록 하겠습니다. 많이 응원해주세요. 감사합니다.
And here we go, introducing our players. There is Snow making his way to the stage. One of the best Reaver carrier users, but like MisO said, sometimes that's kind of all he has. It might not have quite enough to hold on. And he's always been kind of known as a weaker player versus Zerg. So when he said he was happy with this group, I'm just like, well, you know, there's like two of the most crazy, aggressive, unpredictable Zerg players in the world here. So we'll see how well that works out for him.
I mean, at least he doesn't have the S-class Zergs, as he says.
Oh, come on. That was like the sickest burn. It's like, I think you are very good, like A-class, but not S-class. I'm like, okay, well, like, you got to work on your trash talk game there. But I think MisO, by the way, he's the only player who, MisO was the only player who was in last season of KSL. None of these other players were there, so that should maybe tell you a little bit. And so should this overlay, which shows you that, you know, 7 wins, 8 losses is right around middle of the pack, but it's still not a ton of games.
And then 9-3 versus Terran.
Yeah, he is way good versus Terran. Actually, so sick at that. You know, unfortunately, he did ban Medusa, so we're not going to get a chance to see what is one of my favorite maps.
Literally everyone has banned Medusa.
It's a 3-player map, so it's kind of weird, and the bases are not created equal because it's a square frame with a radial
right?
symmetry. Yeah. So it's a little bit of a weird map, so not really super surprised.
There's too much RNG on radial symmetrical maps.
There is quite a bit, with 3-player maps specifically. And MisO's going to ban out cross game. I wouldn't look at his stats too much because they're pretty small sample size, but it should show you that maybe he's not the best versus Protoss. Although, if you check his spawn bang ratings, that's like the show matches that they do on stream, he's very good at that, at least last month. He had a killer month for that. So I don't know what he's gonna, how well he's gonna do offline here, but I will say he is the most recent offline champion competing in this group today because he beat Shine in the 20th anniversary Brood War LAN in Moscow, Russia. So
well, they are both in this bracket too.
Still counts.
They're both in the same group.
Well, we are about to get ready for game number 1 of our first series of the day, guys. It's gonna be MisO versus Snow on Overwatch. Here we go on Overwatch.
Wow.
It's Snow.
Amazing
and
commentary.
MisO, surprise! I know you guys
do
were
a
hoping
great job of introducing the players and then introducing the players immediately after that.
I also do a great job of saying they're in the incorrect starting locations, but I just completely forewent that this time. And here we go. Yes, that's your Zerg player. His player name is red and his race is red, so maybe you guys can match that up.
Wow.
I believe in
Leave
our
it
audience.
up to the viewers.
Starcraft audience, by far the smartest audience on Twitch. So glad to have everyone out here watching a brand new season of KSL. It is good to be back. And I guess for Snow, it's good to be back in KSL because he took a little bit of a vacation.
Is that what we call it when we don't qualify? Or did he actually take a vacation?
Completely voluntary vacation. No.
That's a really nice way of putting it.
It was an involuntary vacation.
I took a
for
vacation
sure.
from GSL, by the way, guys.
No, he
I didn't actually want to qualify. It was just a vacation.
There you go. That's how you say it. Yeah, Snow lost to a semi-pro player named JYJ in the qualifiers last year. And it was super surprising because Snow is so good versus Terran. But like I said earlier, one of the characteristics is that usually he's a lot weaker versus Zerg. And that's kind of surprising because he said MisO's only an A-class player. I would say MisO, if he does have a weakness, it's what Snow highlighted, that he only ever plays one style. He's got one speed, go.
Well, hopefully he doesn't just play one style. Like, I think if you become an adaptive player and you're able to play many styles, it's really hard to play against, so.
Well, it's interesting. Snow said that Queen, or Zero, that played yesterday, was an S-class player, and he definitely only had one style.
I think everybody thought he was an S-class player, though, to be fair.
Yeah. And I think you'll see better performances from him. But for MisO, in case you're wondering what his one style is, he all-ins, he does Ling Flood all-ins, he does 9-pool speed all-ins, he goes for it. He'll four-pool you. It's not even a question.
Do you think it's surprising that we opened Gateway first, then, in this situation?
So I think with gateway units, obviously you want to have the ability to be proactive instead of being defensive with things like cannons, unless you're going to
yeah, but at the same time, gateway, gateway first is a lot less safe than a cannon.
It's less safe if you're focusing on getting your base up and getting your expand up.
Isn't it just objectively less safe? Cannons are just really good defensively.
Yeah, but you're also not going to run out on the map and kill somebody with cannons. So I think that's
Sure.
what Snow wants to kind of have, a little bit of extra scouting information, a little bit of extra harassment, and maybe some more ways to kind of mess up MisO early on.
I mean, yeah. I guess the natural expansion is actually quite far, and there's a Zealot on the map already, so this is going to be quite annoying.
Yeah, early on, the rush distance is actually deceptively short. Oh, man.
Snow's been blocking this base.
Da, da, da,
He blocked
da,
this
da,
base.
da.
MisO took the third, and now he's blocking the base again. Look at this Zergling.
You're just not allowed to build hatcheries here. Up.
This is when you throw down a pylon and they just leave the game. Like, he doesn't go for it. I guess we're just gonna get a Nexus at home.
At some point, if you throw down a pylon, they just run lings across the map and kill you. But there's already one ling in the main. That was very, very fast. Has it already gotten a kill? I didn't pay attention.
Don't think so.
Yeah, probably not. But this is still.
Nexus on the way though.
Look at how much
standard.
respect Snow is giving this one ling. Just pulling all 3 probes to try to chase it away.
Two zealots here actually.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons why you go for this forward gateway expand, because it is it allows you to put on a ton of pressure, especially if the Zerg has run half of his Zerglings across the map to harass you.
I'm quite surprised that he pulled back here, seeing only 4 links. He also has a probe over there, so he can see how many links are. Actually, maybe he saw more links coming. I guess if you lose those zealots, you just kind of die.
Well, there's 3 zealots right about to hit the 3rd right now, and that is a lot.
I don't know what he has here to defend this.
He's got only lings, and especially if you do this dance with the zealots to pull them back to the ramp where there's no surface area, this can be pretty hectic for the Zerg.
Yeah, he does have link speed on the way, right? He stopped mining?
Yes, he stopped mining gas after he got link
losing
speed,
1 zealot there.
That's a big pickoff for sure.
Yeah, he needs to get these out of here, honestly. That's a lot of lings.
Well, at this point, if you try to get them out of here, they just die when they run across the map. So I think what you try to do is keep the surface area
and
and
you can do here.
trade as well as you can.
Hello? That zealot has like no HP.
Dude, how good are zealots, man?
That was like pretty much the best it could have been, though, realistically.
Yeah, I mean, the best you could have gotten is not losing that 3rd zealot.
Killing the 3rd and then the game ending, but yeah.
Okay, all right, I'm glad we've established that. But one thing that is really scary that this probe will make less scary is you don't see a lair. And as we know from watching Queen play yesterday, sometimes if you're going up an aggressive Zerg player, they're just going to 3-hatch Hydra you over and over again.
Yeah, he just wants to make sure there's not more things in production. We don't have like a repeat of that one single game. That, 0-1.
I mean, that's certainly one way to do it. But bro, got it. 1 kill on
that's
that
a speed
Zergling.
link now. It's never dying.
And by the way, yeah, that Zergling has been in there basically the whole time.
It has speed, but it can't kill a probe. What an amazing game.
Probe's pretty fast, man. Fastest acceleration of any worker. How broken is that?
Look at this.
So, well, hey, at least the probe got in there to see that there were more hatcheries being built. So he knows it's not going to be like a 3-hatch Hydra bust. It's going to be the later, more macro-focused 5-hatch.
I mean, he also saw lots of drones being built
Yeah,
too.
I mean, it's still pretty scary, right? But at least you're going to get a chance to get your tech up, get up to High Templar, kind of be able to play a longer game instead of having to build 50 cannons to defend.
Yeah. I mean, I like it. It's a lot more of a smooth transition here. This probe is still alive.
Dude, I don't know. What?
Nice scouts.
And it's going to get in for more. If it gets up the ramp, oh, that's pretty good.
Still lots of intel already.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just seeing the wall coming up really telegraphs exactly what to expect. And so this is going to go into a little bit more of a standard kind of game. The Protoss feels safe to get Corsairs and get an air army, and the Zerg player is going to have to respect that by starting to get his economy and his macro up, building a bunch of Hydras.
Right. This is interesting. We'll have to see where this goes. With the first Corsairs out on the map now, it's probably going to clear up some Overlords if he can find some. I think there's a couple on the map already. This Zergling is still alive, by the way.
And this is why this is so painful. Not even just because you're going to lose a probe every once in a while, but because you have to either invest things into killing it, or it's going to scout your tech for the rest of the game.
There's a Corsair killing an Overlord and a Hydra killing the Corsair. Which one's going to win? Okay.
Yeah, not the Overlord. Oh, hey, the Zergling died somehow. I'm not exactly sure about that, but...
Turns out you have to control, like, the entire... You just have to keep making it run in circles. Eventually, it's just not worth it.
There's a micro map for that, but it's also really kind of convictingly hard to do. Kind of rare that you see a Zerg unit survive longer than, like, a Protoss probe, but that Zergling definitely got his money's worth. A couple of Overlords might die, but here's sort of the song and dance that we do. There's going to be anywhere from 5 to...
He still has a wall, right? He actually doesn't. Right? These links can just run right by here. Hello? Oh my god.
Oh,
okay,
wow,
he was thinking about
probes.
it. If those get in the main, that's really, really annoying.
Imagine like 5 probes being the distance between you and life and death.
Yeah.
That is...
He had a really quick response, but that could have been really scary.
Yeah, and sometimes you can like throw down a blocking building if it's in time, but sometimes it's not. You never want to leave that up to chance. So this is a very kind of well-calculated build for MisO, although from Snow. I thought he was going to go across the map with those Zealots, but it looks like he's thought better of that.
He saw the Lings. He's like, you know what? I don't want to just lose the game.
Yeah, obviously if you lose those Zealots, you have nothing to defend with.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason really to push that. Wow, look at that. That would have been really nice if you actually got a surround on that.
I really love that MisO is not playing game number 1 like with a really crazy style. He's just going back to the basics. This is about as standard as you could possibly play this matchup, but he might need to look for a 4th base here pretty soon.
Is there a Robo Bay on the way? Probably, right? Oh! Oh.
No way! The
Oh, he's just going straight for the
he's going to
cannon.
kill the cannon! This is so bad. The second cannon warps in, but even that's going to die almost instantly. Even Micro's to the other side. He's
lose
gonna
all of
get
his
it
Lings, though.
barely.
I almost would have just liked him to run in the main. It would have been really, really annoying to have Speedlings in the main.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. I think committing to kill those
Although-
cannons makes its defense against Hydras
Yeah.
much more difficult.
That is a good point. Maybe he's playing the long con.
Well, even still, like, this is a lot of speed Zealots that I believe they have +1 by now, and the Corsairs are going to put pressure on the Overlords to try to keep some of the Hydras back. But hey, getting on top of these Hydras is really good for the Zealots. They do have that +1 I was talking about, and so they will absolutely shred the Hydras. But man, this is
there's a
just
ton of Hydras
so
here.
many.
There's a really big window here. If he comes in and kills these Templar before they have Storm.
They don't have Storm
Oh, but
yet.
there's no Overlord here!
Yeah, there's no Overlord speed. Just like Queen hated it, MisO similarly shares his hatred for building Overlord speed.
Imagine repelling all of these Hydras with 1 unit.
It's so crazy to me. Why? I obviously.
Oh,
okay, there it is.
Here comes
it
the
does.
Overlords,
It
yeah.
does finish. I was waiting for that, but that
But
buys
he's-
plenty of
yeah,
time for
exactly.
Storm.
He's bought enough time for Storm. That's a big point here. Good luck killing all those Overlords.
I mean, they're gonna try. Losing your Corsairs would be very bad, so we want to avoid that. But hey, by our powers combined, the Dark Templar can kill everything.
Yeah, he's starting to build up a ton of cannons here. I don't think he's going to die to this, but it is quite a scary push. These Storms are going to have to be nice. I don't know if these have drop, but if he has drop too, that would be more annoying.
Well, finally picking off that DT in the back. Yeah, drop would be rough, but yeah, you can't really get drop and Overlord speed and get all your Hydras. Decent Storm for the first one. We're about to have Storm number 2 come through, and that's where things really start to be getting dicey, because if you don't land that one, there's no more.
Yeah, he's going to be very conservative with this Storm. Like you said, if he loses this Storm, he actually just has no buffer here.
Yeah, see how he's keeping half of his Hydras back and half in the front? He's wanting to make sure that he mitigates a little bit of that damage. And there's, oh man, there's so many more Hydras on the way.
There's the Robo facility. I don't think he's going to push his luck here.
Well, one thing that Snow is always known for is his Reaver control. And usually that's in the form of Shuttle Reaver running across the map and harassing. But you can definitely use those to defend. It's just such a knife's edge here. Where's that Storm?
Yeah, there it is.
Only gets like 3 Hydras with that.
Yeah, not a great Storm, but he's still holding pretty comfortably.
I mean, that's just a lot of bugs. This is like a Starship Troopers scene. They just never stop.
Yeah, losing a lot of Zealots here, actually.
They've got +1. They've got
Oh my God, the
speed.
probes are coming out.
They've got range. There's enough energy for one more Storm, but ooh, that's a good one.
That's a very good Storm, but it's not enough.
I mean, there's no more Hydras rallied across the map, so this is realistically kind of the end. Okay, right as I say that.
That's a lot of Hydras.
The Hydras get rallied across the map. I was looking on the minimap, guys, I promise.
That is a lot of Hydras coming in.
And I think the more you stress test this Protoss Storm energy, it's not going to last forever.
I almost think he could break him with these Hydras. Imagine when all of them come over here.
Once the next batch get done, that is almost too much damage.
That's too much.
Yeah,
He's going to come in for the break. One more Storm comes down. I don't think he has enough here.
I mean, that's a decent Storm, but look at how many more Hydras there are behind this. Even with cannons there and warping in, there's just not enough Storm energy here. You might have one more, but the Zealots are going to get picked up. The cannons are going down.
The probes are here too.
I don't know how much longer he can last.
Yeah, this is really hard for him. I mean, if he can hold on, he's still not even in a great spot either.
And you know, everybody would tell you MisO is an aggressive, all-in base Zerg player.
Beautiful Storm.
That's a nice Storm.
Wow.
But he is just out macroing Snow at this point. I mean, one more Storm, maybe that's going to do it, but look at how many more
Look at
Hydras are rallied across the map.
How little there is here. There's cannon and 4 Zealots and probes.
Oh, and now he's going to start losing those probes. And the last bastion of his Zealot defense is going to fall down here. I think MisO's about to do it.
Are, but yeah, not good enough.
Yeah, pretty good. He's got one more Storm, and he storms his own probes, I think.
Yeah, he's going to build an Archon. What?
Whoa!
Yeah, he got it.
They got lost on their way. It's finding each other, the
Yeah,
movie
this
with
is not going to be enough.
Protoss
We're going to be
units.
seeing the GG here.
Yeah, I mean, just couldn't hold on. Didn't even know. Wasted all of his Storm just to watch it go. Not all of his Storm, but there it is.
Yeah, I love how yeah, the Storm's not enough here. GG.
Wow. I can't even believe that. MisO with a long-term, macro 5-hatch playstyle,
Yeah, just playing a
overrunning.
solid game.
You know, and I felt like Snow had everything he needed. He had +1 in speed for his Zealots right on time. His Corsairs got out there and got a couple of Overlord kills, but he didn't have enough Psystorm to hold on. Maybe I thought the Storms were actually pretty good.
No, they were pretty good, yeah. Actually just felt like MisO just had a really nice, like, economic advantage the entire early game and then just pushed and killed them. Like, there was nothing to it, really.
Well, we are, I think we are about to come back to, okay, I thought we were cutting immediately.
Come back to us.
Okay, sorry. I'm still working through the run of show for this season. We'll get the kinks out
Yeah,
eventually.
It's okay.
Um,
It's okay, amateur casters here and there. It's fine.
hey.
Me as a veteran, though, I would never make that mistake.
Oh, okay, no regret. All right, I'm
just
sure
kidding.
everybody else out there can vouch for that. As far as it goes for MisO, I think that now Snow has to respect a whole lot more play styles and really can't just treat him like he's just going to all-in him every game.
I kind of wish Snow would be more of a dictator in the game, you know? Because it just felt like he was just taking it the whole time.
Maybe that can be his Protoss nickname, the Dictator. Well, he
That's a
definitely
cool
did not
name, actually.
dictate that first game at all. He came out there with Zealots, but then Lings ran through his wall and killed the cannons. It's like, well, can't get out on the map.
Right.
And all of a sudden, if you can't get out on your map with Zealots to harass, you can't kill more than just a couple of Overlords with your Corsairs. It's like, well, what are you doing, right?
Right.
Those are
And then
just-
the Hydra push came out, too, and it's just like, I don't have these cannons anymore. I have to rebuild them.
And I mean, he tried to rebuild them, but he only had like four, like this many cannons. I don't know.
Yeah?
Not many.
A lot,
That's right.
but not enough.
There's the way trolls count in Terry Pratchett. It's one too many lots. You just got your bases covered there. It was like solidly between a 2 and a many, somewhere in between there.
Right.
Anyway, it was a stalwart defense, but in the end, not enough. I was actually surprised. Every time I thought he was out of storm energy, he just kept storming, and I'm like, well, I
That's
guess
the beauty of Storm. You gotta,
it just
you gotta
never runs
stagger
out.
your storms out to the point where you can just have infinite storms.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is like the High Templar just gets so much value the longer the game goes, but at some point, you're actually just going to get out macroed if you've never dealt any damage to this insane Zerg economy.
Yeah, and that's what happened. There's actually not much to go into it. It's just this insane Zerg economy with an insane Zerg rally into an insane Zerg bust.
Sounds like MisO's pretty insane
Insane.
in the brain. So we've got game number 2 coming up after a short break, I believe. And that's what our music is telling us to do. We'll be right back. Game 2, don't go anywhere.
시에 위치한 기동 선수고요. 7시에 위치한 임극 선수입니다.
뮤탈로 압박, 너 털에 박아. 그리고 나는 이제 드론이 적당히 채워지면서 상품 받고. 그리고 하나하나 유기적으로 움직이는 것이 와, 이재동 선수 진짜 오늘.
자, 이제 이재동 타임입니다.
컨트롤 좋아요.
자, 컨트롤로 잡아 내기까지 속수무책.
저 팩토리 보면은 더욱더 행복해지죠.
그렇죠.
팩이 왜 이렇게 느려?
예.
네.
와, 끊어서 지금 몇 개예요?
이거 정면병력 이렇게 잡히면 압박을 하나도 줄 수가 없기 때문에
아니, 위에 다 잡혔어요.
이재동 선수도 뭐 이거 저글링까지 들어오면서
예.
아마도 지금 많이 잡고요.
자, 정리 아니 그러면서 올라오는
여기서 홀드콘. 와, 컨트롤 진짜.
완전 좋아요, 이재동.
그냥 상황이 다르죠. 이재동 선수 지금 자원도 많이 먹어.
자, 들어가요.
바로
와! 이 아래 가려져 있었거든요. 오버드로 앞에.
네. 어택을 찍을 수도 없고 몇
예.
개인지도 모르게.
들어가고 있는 병력은 3시 쪽.
와,
울트라!
자이어.
와,
네, 이제
두바이 저거 답네요.
네, 이제부터는 진짜 그냥 달려나가면 태어나자마자 사이업이에요.
와,
저게 바로 슈퍼카거든요. 지금 저거.
그렇죠,
그렇죠.
엔진이 달라요.
네.
자, 이제 와 쏟아진다 울트라.
여기서
네.
베스를 정리해 주면서
네,
배슬이라도 살려야 돼요.
네.
배슬이라도.
울트라. 와, 저글링과 함께.
이쪽이 본진 지역 쪽에도 탱크가 막 6기, 7기 한 부대 정도는 이렇게 쌓여서 울타리스크를 녹여줄 수가 있어야 되는데
네.
그러니까 저기 투팩에 있는 것처럼 다 인구수 전체적으로는 지금 상황에서는 도움이 하나도 안 돼요.
네.
저거 빼고 봐야 되는 그런 상황이거든요.
그렇죠.
이 싸움에서.
이거 11시
와,
멀티
많아요.
네, 보기도 전에 끝날 것 같은데요.
야, 지지.
지지.
7시에 이재동 선수고 11시에 김근창 선수입니다.
이걸 게이트를 상대 위치나 이런 부분에 있어서는 괜찮은 거예요. 네, 이게 게이트 원 게이트 멀티 압박하면서 근데 이것을 이제 정말 극한의 질러 컨트롤을 할 줄 알아야 되고요. 근데 질러 컨트롤만 잘해서 되는 게 아니라 센스가 이거는 거의 다예요. 그 질럿의 위치와 상대방의 움직임에 맞추는 움직임 이게 상당히 어려운 거죠.
6링 찍었다는 정보를 봐야 되는데 프로브가 어딜 가나요?
왜 화가 났어요?
예.
예.
이러면 큰일 나니까.
아니
아,
최장거리로
예. 오.
돌아가기.
예.
야, 봤어요.
이재동 선수는 어차피 여기서 1질럿 하나이기 때문에 후속적으로 찍는 저글링으로도
무시하고.
충분히 질럿 막아내죠.
네.
아니
자, 타격이 있을 수밖에 없는 상황이고요.
네 이거
더 많이-
계획이에요. 파일럿.
이거
어?
그냥 깨집니다.
아 질러 하나를 쓸데없이 괜히 보내는
그러니까.
꼴이 됐어요.
같이 막아줬어야 되는데.
쌈싸 먹혔죠?
네. 와, 이거 완전
와,
GG.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's KSL back with game number 2 coming up. Not much to talk about from game 1.
we were talking like, how do we really analyze that? We're like, well, he built Hydras.
It's like one player
and-
pressed the Hydra key and he just never stopped. He had one of those rapid fire keyboards like we advertised during the break. You just hold
Ooh, that was smooth.
you just hold down the Hydra
Somewhere
key.
out there, somebody from HyperX is like, we need to send
PayPal
that guy,
that
an extra
guy
check.
right now. No, one guy built Hydras and the other guy couldn't build Stormy Boys fast enough.
Yeah. I actually think
We're
that if
done.
he would gone into Reavers or something, because he's just so good with them.
He was trying, but like at some point there's too much pressure to get
Yeah.
Reavers out because those things
Yeah, I
are
mean, he would have died if he
slow.
had gone for it, because he died when he didn't go for it.
Yeah.
Unless he opened straight into Reavers without, going into Twilight.
My thing is, like, there are all these legendary Reaver players. Like Snow was one. There's several in the non-Korean scene as well. And every time I watch them kill somebody with Reavers in like 10 seconds, I'm just like, okay, well, that's clearly broken. Do this every game. But obviously, if you do the same strat every game, or if you're really well known for one thing,
Right.
then it's pretty exploitable. So maybe that's what he's thinking. But you only got 2 more chances before you lose the series.
I'd like to see him go into it this game. I
Yeah.
feel like there's a lot of defensive and aggressive options with Reaver in general, as long as they don't go into like straight into Mutas,
Yeah.
which you have to look for.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We talked about early scouting and how important it is, specifically for Protoss players. If you lose your probe early, it is just a dark, scary world out there. So nobody knows what to expect at that point. So Snow was pretty good.
Okay, so Fighting Spirit.
And Fighting Spear is a great map for
Yeah.
Reavers too. So you can definitely do that there. Plenty big enough. And I don't think that...
It's his pick too, right?
Yeah, I mean,
time.
theoretically, this is a very standard map. Fighting Spirit has been in every map pool everywhere for basically 1 million years. Unless you were playing games on Destination and Icy Cup, you were playing on Fighting Spirit no matter where you went. This is a very brief overview of the map. The stats for it are basically going to be pretty even. It looks like if you're Zerg, you're kind of struggling versus Terrans, but you're OP versus Protoss. Those stats definitely do not tell the secrets of this map.
I feel like every Zerg player just loves Bridges.
If you ask Artosis if Terrans should win more on this map than Zerg, he'll laugh at you.
Well, if you ask Artosis if Terran should win more versus any race
That's true.
on any map, he'll laugh at you.
Well, here we go. Let's get started. Game number 2 on the way. Wow, we really just get right into these. In the upper left-hand corner in the blue is Snow, and in the upper right in the red is MisO. They're in close positions, so maybe that would make it easier if MisO wanted to go for something aggressive, but
I think in general this is doesn't favor Snow, unless he wants to be really aggressive.
I mean, he picked it.
Like,
Oh,
he
you
goes
mean the
for-
spawn
no, I mean the
locations.
spawn locations, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would kind of agree with that. The bigger thing for me is that Zerg almost always on big 4-player map. On big 4-player
I'm
maps.
sorry, buddy. I don't know if that one's gonna qualify for.
I don't know. That looked like Ace. You could tell he was talking about him.
Yeah.
Or what was Ace's? Ace is one of our Korean commentators. His StarCraft 1 name was Amoeba, I want to say. I think he definitely upgraded.
Amoeba?
Yeah, he definitely upgraded.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Okay, there you
yeah,
go.
see, there's Ace or Amoeba.
I
and
think
then
that's me actually.
then that's Colossus in the middle, and then the other one was the Marine. Wow, that's actually pretty sick. Maybe that guy wins a keyboard or something.
That was pretty good.
And if you guys are actual artists out there, like the Picassos of the StarCraft world,
You just come here for free.
oh yeah,
keyboards.
you just come here every day, get free stuff.
I don't know this StarCraft thing, but I drew this picture.
I also don't think there's a limit on how much stuff you can win, so you could just show up for KSL every day and win something If
You
were
just show up to KSL every day, win something, sell that, and that become your profession.
you could just make a job off of living off KSL. Actually, for season 1 of KSL, they used to give away the copies of the collector's edition of Brood War or Starcraft Remastered. So I came and I was casting, and they gave me one. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm not eligible for this, but sick. So yeah. Anyway, the way that this game is starting out looks basically exactly like the first one.
God, not again.
Not like this. Well, actually, the last time he already had a third base
It's
up.
opening Forge first, at least.
Yeah, and this is scary for a couple of reasons. A, if you get this hatchery down, then the probe can actually run around and cannon rush you if
Just
there's
let
no
the man
overlord.
take it. There you go.
Have
Come
mercy.
on. Zerg has it bad enough.
Now this is where you hide the probe in the back of the Zerg base and make a pylon.
And then a cannon him very, very far away.
Well, he is building a Nexus, so Survey says he's probably not going to go for any loony
And
shenanigans.
then you build a robo in their base, and you build a couple shield batteries.
Shield batteries, man.
You make
what
some
a meme.
immortals, and then you win.
I mean, you do have shield batteries in StarCraft 1, but they're not quite as good as they are when you upgrade to StarCraft 2. They are pretty good.
I'd love to see the shield battery in StarCraft 2 in Brood War. Oh my god.
Oh, it's so broken. It's just like, imagine.
Could you imagine these cannons versus Hydras? You just have 3 shield batteries behind them, automatically healing all the cannons to full HP.
So interestingly enough, the medic is, I believe, the only unit that auto-targets a spell, if I'm not mistaken. It auto-targets heal, because if you had to manually heal Marines with medics, I mean, that would just be stupid. Nobody would ever... I guess maybe if you're some sick ghoster, you can do that. But I don't think there's another auto-targeted spell, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway,
so.
My point
They
is...
should make
wait,
consume auto spell or an auto
okay,
target.
So this is exactly what I was talking about. They're showing the record down there. I don't know. Pointing out that in KSL, Zerg wins every game on this map. So...
It's also pointing out that that drone has 1 kill.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to talk about, because killing the scouting probe for Protoss anywhere before like 3-4 minutes is crazy. Now Snow has no idea what to expect. He has to send out a scouting probe, and this is crazy town because MisO could be going for something super aggressive.
Yeah, well, we will see the second probe come out and just make sure that he's not just going to die.
Yeah.
Oh, as soon as he kills the probe going for the 3-hatch Hydra, this is really nice.
Yeah, that's exactly the kind of build I was talking about.
I think if you're Protoss and you're good enough and you scout the fact that there's a Ling wall, it's already quite suspicious, though.
Yeah, but the probe stopped in the middle of the map, so that guy's taking a breather.
I guess there's nothing really you need to see yet.
No, there is. You need to see that. That thing right
no, I
there.
mean, like, I know you need to see that. My point is, it's not like the Hydra's just going to walk across the map and kill you right now, you know?
Yeah, you've got some time, but you also need time to prepare for that.
I don't think he can even get in if he wanted to. There's how many Lings on the ramp?
Well, it's more about like kind of just seeing that, because now look, he's committed to a Stargate. He's going to build some Corsairs, and none of that stops walls of Hydras from killing your natural.
I'm just trying to rationalize why he wouldn't send the probe in.
Yeah, that
There
probe.
has to be a reason.
He's colorblind and he can't see it on the tile
No,
set.
no. He keeps looking at it. Like you see the blue box around it. Like he's still looking at it.
So there's definitely a timing. So there's a
I
couple.
feel like he's trying to find the timing where you see the Hydras pop and then he sends the probe in. You know?
Yeah.
Off a 3-hatch Hydra.
So this way, yeah, because sometimes, and that's actually a good point. If you scout the 3-hatch too early, some
Okay, here it
players might
comes.
pull off of it.
Yeah. So now. Oh wow.
What?
That's so sick. See, he's just way better than us. Okay, we just don't understand.
Wow.
I felt like there's something we were missing. You know? You wouldn't just sit your scout there and not do anything with
Who
it.
builds into their build order? Well, yeah, then I just sneak the probe through everything, all the defenses.
He's waiting for the Lings to leave that he doesn't know the left, and then he just goes in.
I don't know how he does it. But wow, that's perfect information. And so already you can see another hatchery on the way here for MisO. Let's see, is this 4-hatch Hydra?
Well, it depends on if he's building more drones here, I think.
Well, there's
We
no
do see
lair
one
on the
Hydra.
way, that's for sure.
Yeah, 1 cannon already going up. But you could just build a lot of drones out of this. It just depends. Okay, I think there's enough Hydras here that you would definitely say it's a 3-hatch Hydra. I guess 4-hatch Hydra in this case.
Yeah, and with the 4-hatch variant, that's sort of like going to 6 hatches if you're doing the 5-hatch. It's just a little bit more macro.
That was weird. They were just not mining gas.
I mean, yeah, it takes some
Takes some what?
attention, APM. You gotta have enough of that.
Okay, I got you.
Actually, kind of cool to see both of our players around 300 APM. That is not easy to do. And Snow's going to need all of that he can get to try to hang on here. Oh, wow. If those things had caught the Zealots out there.
Yeah, this isn't that many Hydras.
I mean, the point is that they're coming so early. Like, Protoss has no High Templar at all.
This scouting zealot's going to see if there's a lair or not.
Yeah, you gotta make sure you don't lose these to cannons, but for sure this is starting to get super scary. And there's a version of this where you kind of pull back, you fake like you're doing it, then you pull back and you don't.
As soon as he sees no lair, he's just throwing down cannons like mad.
Yeah, for sure. That's exactly what you need to find out about. The problem is you've invested so much in finding that out. You lost the Zealot. You lost all the time building
really
Corsairs and everything.
You know, like he goes check the third, saturation and everything. He wants to really make sure he's going for it and that it's not like a triple fake out.
Well, yeah, there's no secret. He is going for it. MisO is really, really committing to this. But, I mean, Snow should be, I mean, it's not like he's terribly far behind.
Is that an air upgrade?
Yeah, he's getting +1 for his Corsairs. So
okay.
that's, I mean, I believe that's what that is. Certainly not armor. So this is basically it. If the Hydras can break through here, then they're going to be in a great spot. But if Snow holds, then he is rock solid.
Too many cannons. And now he's got +1 coming for his Corsair.
I believe so, if indeed that's what that was.
It was upgrading something. They don't have Warp Gate, I'm pretty sure.
It's definitely not Dragoon range. There's none of those in this game. So the idea is that MisO keeps building Hydras and keeps trying to break this, and Snow keeps building cannons and trying to not die.
Yes, that is a great summary.
Sick. Well, eventually Storm's going to come, and that's what our observer is ticking down the clock to.
Storm is finished, so now he just needs to wait for the energy, right?
Yes, Storm is, well, it should be finished basically now. He does have enough energy here, and so the more time MisO waits, the more Storm there's going to be. Wait, I think there's actually only one High Templar here.
Oh my god, that is so many Hydras.
That is a lot, deceptively many, but it's a lot of cannons too. They just die so fast. Now, where's our one Storm?
Nice
there it
Storm.
is. That's a 6 Storm.
These are going down.
Yeah,
all these Hydras should... Actually, a lot of these cannons are really close.
Look at those cannons. They live with 1 HP apiece.
Oh my god. This is actually a lot closer than I thought it would be. He's throwing down cannons frantically. There's more Hydras coming in here, actually.
Does he have enough energy for another Storm? No, he's 5 energy short. No regret.
There are a lot of probes. This one cannon still has a lot of HP.
He's got to pull back before he loses it to Storm. He's waiting for the Storm. He's got energy
he
for
canceled
Storm.
all the cannons.
Oh, but he dies on top of the probes.
No.
He snipes High Templar. It was
That
the
was
high
all the
energy High
energy,
Templar. He lost everything.
He needs more cannons, but he can't really get them. I think he's actually just going to die here.
Is MisO going to take this game off of another Hydra
All the
bus?
probes just go down.
Yeah, you're right. He's got no Storm, no probes.
Well, at least we've got Corsair upgrades. Right?
You're right. He went +1 air weapons. I don't know if that's going to save you
GG.
now. I'm glad you caught that air weapons upgrade. Wow, what a thing to commit to. MisO.
MisO's feeling great. MisO.
I don't know what I was going to go for there.
MisO
Sometimes
soup.
you start the next word too early, no regret. Wow, he is speedrunning this group. What a way to start things off.
Yeah, I feel like that was super mismanaged, though. Like, Snow, I think Snow confirmed it, like, enough times, but he just didn't really rush out what he needed. He only had 1 Templar. The air upgrade felt weird, because he was just kind of like your priorities to not die. Well, he wasn't able to utilize it at all.
I mean, I think it really comes down to losing that early scouting probe, because at that point, MisO's just like, wait a second.
But at the same time, he went back in and scouted the Hydra Den.
So he went back in and scouted it, but by that point, it was already upgrading Hydra speed. It was already the plan had already been laid into motion.
Sure.
And so behind that, he's like, okay, I'll build a couple more cannons. But he had already built the Stargate Corsairs, and I guess he was starting +1 pretty soon thereafter. And yeah, that +1 was really weird to see, because you got to not die.
My brain is just not big enough to know what was going on.
Well, I mean, the meme with Snow, right, is that he's weak against Zergs, but OP against Terrans, right? He eliminated Flash from ASL Season 5, I guess it was.
That was like his... that's what he's known for.
Yeah, you just like... That's like Taco Bell's
Flash
canon
in an
indeed.
ASL?
It's like, I did my one thing, there it is, we're done. Because then he kept getting knocked out of tournaments by Zerg players. So, I don't know. I hope that he's able to kind of pull it together here in Game 3, because... otherwise, MisO just sweeps this group and makes it look easy. That's what you get for calling him an A-tier Zerg, right?
I guess he's not calling himself an S-tier Protoss?
I don't know. We'll find out. I think we're about ready to get into a quick break, so don't go anywhere.
Maybe not.
I think that's what I was told. But instead, we're waiting for the Korean players to, or the Korean commentators to stop casting.
Well.
Now it's time for the break. All right. Nailed it.
선수고 11시에 위치한 배병호 선수입니다.
피해가 너무 크면 안 돼요.
네.
일단 컨트롤 배병호 선수도 나쁘진 않은데 결국 깨지면 안 되거든요.
그렇죠.
자, 이거
이거는 막을 수 있어요. 천천히 막을 수 있어요.
드론이 한 3기, 4기 잡힌 것 같은데 네, 이 정도면 일단 스포 운영으로 따라갈 만하긴 해요. 뮤탈리스크가 나와도 하나씩 나오면서 다 찝혀 죽거든요. 예, 그렇게 되면 결국 이 박지혁 선수의 이 뮤탈리스크 한 번을 막을 수가 없어요.
스쿼지 하나가 다 제대로 박혀야 돼요.
네. 스쿼지가 잘 박긴 했는데
나쁘지 않았는데 진짜 잘
네.
박혔는데.
근데 그렇다고 치기엔 타격이 너무 많아요.
네 맞아요. 숫자
예.
차이가 나다 보니까 이거 힘들어졌습니다.
굉장히 많은 저글링 수적으로 열세인데요.
밀려요. 배병
자,
밀려요.
배명은 밀려요.
그냥 밀리죠.
수적인 열세. 자, 이 뮤탈리스크의 활용도 그렇죠. 나중에 들어갈 수 있어요.
스포 깨버리고.
스포 깨면은 그대로 들어가고.
GG.
한두열 선수와 김윤환 선수의 저그 대 저그전이고.
지금 저글링 돌리는 거는 아주 좋은 플레이거든요.
이거를 빠르게 못 받고 이러면 김윤환 선수가 한 번에 당황을 하는데 그리고 돌아올 수도 이미 없어요. 그냥 앞마당 가야 돼요 김윤환 선수도.
자, 이동하는 병력 확인했어요 김윤환. 자,
서로
올라가요.
못 빼, 서로 못 빼요.
이 서로 못 뺐습니다.
이제는 막 뮤탈 어떻게든 나와서 이거 뭐 버텨야 되는 상황인 거고요.
그렇죠.
자, 이거 스파이어부터 뮤탈리스크 싸움으로 갈 수도 있기 때문에
그러니까 이게
스파이어 깨고
본인은 스파이 깨지기 전에 뮤탈 면적 하나를 더 찍어놓게 되면 이길 수 있으니까.
그렇죠.
우와!
자, 스파이어 깨졌고요. 자, 뮤탈리스크 나왔습니다. 이제 방어를 해야 되는 양쪽 팀,
그렇죠.
양쪽 선수.
서로가 뭐 다 털리는데 이쪽은 이미 뮤탈이 쪽 여러 개를 먼저 찍어놓은 상황이라서
그러네요.
네.
본진은 지금 있는.
이 걷어내는데 승부가 걸렸어요.
야, 게다가 가스를 다 써서 스쿼드가 찍었는데 뮤탈 3기?
엘리
마지막 아니에요?
마지막인가요?
드론
여기 있네요.
여기 하나.
자, 이거 컨트롤로 스쿼지 다 잡아야
다음
되고요.
스쿼지 잡아야 되는데 컨트롤 피해 없어야 되고. 위험했어요. 체력 없어. 그냥 가자.
더 이상은 안 되겠다.
자, 스쿼지 컨트롤 봐야
신의
돼요.
스쿼지 컨트롤.
신의
영혼을 담아야 돼. 영혼.
먼저 한 대
이러면
맞았어.
안
한 대
돼요.
맞았어. 스쿼지
스쿼지 찍으면 끝이에요.
자, 스쿼지 2개.
자,
하나가
좋아요.
컨 너무 좋아.
한 대.
도망가라. 희망도 어려워요.
안 돼요.
그 체력이 달린 뮤탈리스크까지 잡힙니다. 이렇게 김윤환 선수가 지지를 받아냈습니다. 지지. 지금 보시는 진영은 한두열 선수. 김윤환 선수. 못볼 뻔했어. 야,
드론?
와,
이거는 끝내겠다.
빌드 먹혔어요.
와,
한두열.
관심법 아닙니까 이 정도면?
새로운 브레인이에요.
이거 작정하고 성큼까지.
네, 왔어요. 대동했죠.
네,
드론 밀치기 해야죠. 토스전에 쓰던 거.
그렇죠.
옛날에.
해야죠.
드론 밀치기.
드론 밀치기.
왔어요. 컷 나올 수도 있어요 이거. 이거.
오히려 저글링 밀치기.
네. 웰컴. 자, 혹시 모르니까.
혹시 모르니까 안전하게.
지지.
지지.
Welcome back, everybody, to KSL. Beautiful start of our shot of our studio, going directly into map 3, which is going to be in the way of an Eddy. Once again, Snow's map choice, and I guess the meme continues. No Protoss player has ever beaten a Zerg on Fighting Spirit in KSL. That was Snow's map choice. We changed it from Season 1, where Winner picked map, which was really snowbally. Season 2, and Snow can't seem to hold off the Hydras.
That was the weirdest thing. Like back in the day when you won and you got to pick the map as well. Kicking them while they're down.
It gives you way too much control. And yeah, this way at least if Snow gets contained, maybe by a bunch of Hydras, he'll have a way to get out maybe to an island base or something. But also it's a little bit harder to kind of move through the middle of the map with the way that the ramps work. It's called Eddy, so I guess that's kind of what happens. They flow through the middle in a weird way. But yeah, I think the biggest thing is just keep your probe alive, scout what's coming, and
Don't
try to hold on.
Hydras is maybe the biggest thing.
Yeah, all right. Well, we have yet to check that off
Rule
of our
number
boxes
1.
here.
Don't die to Hydras.
All right, let's get into Game 3. All right, Game number 3 underway. In the bottom right-hand corner in the blue is Snow. In the upper left is MisO. And I think we're going to see Hydras this game.
You think so?
This is the alternate universe of what yesterday's games with Queen and Best should have looked like.
Yeah, except it's about the same amount of Hydras.
Well, but the other thing is that when Queen was trying to do the 3-hatch Hydra busts all day yesterday, he kept getting them scouted really early on. And at that point, it's like, you know, the jig is up. But this time it feels like Snow is maybe just not getting that information fast enough, or like what's up with that +1 air upgrade?
I actually don't know.
Okay.
I feel like there's something we're missing, but at the same time, you just kind of have to hold the Hydras before anything else. Then you do what you want to do,
It's
okay?
a dark, scary world
Like,
out
if
there.
you think he's like upgrading +1, he's like, all right, I'm just going to get my carriers now, and then I'm good, right?
It's like, no, my dude, you gotta not die.
He's going to have like +3 when his first carrier pops out. He's like, this carrier's going to be invincible.
I mean, this might be a good carrier map. You got the islands, good space to move around on.
You know what you should do? You just lift off your probe, send it to the island, you build a Nexus there, and then you build like 2 Stargates. You go 1 base carrier on the island. You just leave your other base.
Wow, that's some big brain strats right there. No regret.
I think that's how it works. That's how Brood War works with the really high 1 base income.
I can't argue with that at all. No one could question that. Well, hey, this is the first hatchery we haven't seen pro blocked, so that's already going better for me. So
He wanted it though.
not that he even needs to, have anything go better for him. The probe will get in, and we'll see how long Snow can keep this one alive, because he'll at least scout that it is 12 hatch. Yeah, and that should be.
You blocked the spawning pool there.
Haha! Can't build Zerglings if I block your spawning pool, and then you just built it somewhere random. Okay, sick. You can have that one. Ah, but okay.
I'd like to see 3 hatch before pool.
On the other side, we should point out that this is an extremely fast Nexus. It's Nexus after Pylon, and that means that there's no Forge, there's no Gateway, there's no Cannons.
Oh, it's Forge too.
Yeah.
And if you go 3 hatch and they go Nexus Forge, what do they even do?
Well, yeah, there's nothing to stop that.
I guess
now.
they could cannon rush
You
you.
can
with.
actually just go build your 3rd hatchery right now. That's exactly what MisO's going to do.
Yeah, he should. He should.
So this is going to be your no rush 20 kind of style. Well, definitely
Wow.
not 20, but we're taking off.
He actually drone scouted too.
I guess sometimes if instead of a Nexus that with 2 gateways, you'd be in a little bit of trouble if you try to get a 3rd up.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're 0.
Yeah, and then you just link flood to win the game.
Yeah.
Actually, MisO could guaranteed do that, so let's not.
I think, yeah, I actually don't think you cancel a 3rd or anything if you see it.
Yeah, you just build Infinity Zerglings and win the game. Apparently, this is what we're learning from day 1.
Yeah, nothing too crazy happening for either sides. I really like so far MisO's position in this game. Like taking the really quick 3rd and making sure he's not going to die. He's just playing like a really good economic game right now.
Yeah, step 2 would be killing the scouting probe. This is right around the time period when he killed it in game 2, and then just 3 hatch Hydra immediately. It looks like he's got Zerglings chasing it, about to take it out. Nope, never mind.
That probe should be invincible, I believe.
You say that. Last game it went down right about now. So
Wait, he just morphed a lair right in front of the probe.
I mean, it's not like you're hiding anything. Morphing that layer just says, okay, we're going on to step 2. But maybe
I mean,
it will.
It says quite a bit, actually.
It's going to show Snow that he doesn't have anything to worry about. But you can't really delay that forever if you really do want to get it.
I agree. But that's really nice for Snow. At least he knows he's not going to die to Hydras immediately now.
Well, we might have.
Now he might die to Mutas immediately.
I don't know about that. I mean, in general, Snow seems to be pretty comfortable going for Stargate. Yeah, there's the Stargate right on time. And especially if you want to commit to +1 Corsairs, it's going to take a lot of Mutas to beat those.
Yeah, or a couple lucky Scourge hits.
If you do get those lucky Scourge hits early on, like you kill the 1st or 2nd Corsair, that can tip the scales in favor of a Muta style. And in general, there's this weird kind of style we're seeing now where Mutas do play a big part in sniping High Templars once Protoss try to push out and either take a 3rd or make it aggressive.
Yeah, I like the fact that MisO is mixing it up and he's not just going for another Hydra bust.
Yeah,
he's up 2 games already. Like, there's nothing really that scary about switching it up and possibly winning the series 3-0 with something different.
Yeah, shout-outs to MisO for really diversifying a lot. I feel like a lot of people sort of pigeonhole him into only being an early aggression kind of player. No, this guy's got it all. He can kill you with any number of Hydras and hatcheries.
That was funny. The Zealot was playing hide and seek there.
Well, hey, the probe is still in here. He
He
does
the Spire. Wow, nicely controlled.
see the Spire.
Nice.
Oh, wow, pulls the 2 Lings back, and they survive with
Very
single-digit
fancy.
health. Oh, glitching the probe out with the drone right there. That
I
was
think
sick.
the probe glitched itself out there.
Okay, well, I'm trying to make it look like he did something cool, but the probe did not. The probe did nothing.
Okay. This has got to be a pretty good spot for Snow, though. Like, full vision of the Spire. Already has a Corsair out. It's pretty comfortable, I think. He's not just going to die, which is nice.
Well, you say that, but I think not doing anything to MisO, letting him get up to these 5 hatcheries, might be a little bit too much freedom.
Well, I mean, what can he really do to stop him from going 5 hatch?
I mean, you could have done some sort of like Zealot push. You can just power up the Storms and try to get a bunch of High Templar. The weird thing about High Templar, like if you think about Size Storm, it's really easy to think, well, it's so broken. You just storm everything and everything dies. It's like, well, yeah, but you have to buy enough time to have the freedom, the breathing room to build a bunch of High Templars that do absolutely nothing until they storm.
Sure. I mean, I don't disagree. But yeah, I still feel like MisO's in a pretty, or Snow is in a pretty good spot still.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how well the Spire does what it's supposed to do. I mean, he's got a decent amount of gas income here. He's, you know, getting all his hatches up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's 6 hatch actually. I don't know what that building was built up at the.
I don't think
the 11 o'clock base. You can do a 6 hatch. It's just really, really tons of macro. And I think one of those. I think the building in front is a hatchery, right? I could be wrong about that. I don't actually know. But if it is, then
maybe
it would
it
be
is
6.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, for a long time it was 1, 3, or 5. Those are the only numbers of hatcheries you're allowed to use. But then you can stretch it with a 6th one to just really get a ton of Hydras. And that might be the way that, that MisO's going to try to overwhelm here.
There's the Hydra Den. I really like his building positioning, by the way.
Yeah,
like,
and it is.
He has kind of walled off both sides with sunk. There's a sunk behind like a decent wall. So he's not just going to have Zealots push and kill him. Like, even look at this. Like, the sunk is, like, pretty covered.
Yeah, the SimCity looks super good for MisO. And realistically, that's the only thing you have to worry about is maybe 5 to 9 Zealots run across the map and kill a drone line or a hatchery. And here's
Scourge,
speed
see
kicking
everything.
in. Yeah, that's the great thing about going for Spire first, is it not only protects you against Corsairs, but it scouts everything in the map.
So, yeah. I mean,
he actually did go for mutas. Should have pointed that out earlier on. But these are +1 Corsairs. They will dominate this.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's not much he can really do, but I think he's actually just going to go straight to Hydras.
He should theoretically, unless he wants to build just
I mean, he's not going to see that. He's just going to be like, you know what I'm doing? We're going to out-muta him. Because you'll never win that game.
No.
So, yeah, he's got the Hydra upgrades coming. We see a couple of Hydras already. He's on 6 hatch, too. You don't really make much sense going 6 hatch muta.
So there's some really like pimpest
plays.
plays.
That is a lot of Scourge, by the way.
Yeah, so where you build just Infinity Scourge, and you saw this on island maps a lot, back when those were popular.
Well, island maps are a bit different.
Yeah, but the idea is that it's hard to take air control versus a Protoss player who has a ton of +1 Corsairs unless you really catch them off guard and build just Insanity Scourge. And I think that's the kind of style we're seeing here.
Yeah, I still think he's going to really heavily rely on the Hydras. I think he might even be feinting the fact that he wants to do that just by how many Scourge he's showing. Like this, he keeps showing. He's like, hey, look, all these Scourge I've got. You know, like I'm building all these Scourge.
I mean, it's forcing Snow to play a little bit more defensively with his.
And he has a non-stop Corsair production too.
Yeah,
but like there's tons of Hydras at home.
So this is going to be a really interesting kind of battle, and it's going to come down to which player has read the appropriate amount of what they need better.
I just feel like MisO's feeding him information that Snow is not 100% of what's going on. You know, like that's a ton of Scourge to show off when you're not making mutas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he only went for 5 mutas. He never kind of rebuilt any more of those.
And it just feels like Snow's playing so passively because he's not 100% sure that if this is mutas or not, just constant muta production. Like that's a ton of Hydras. He's still building Scourge, by the way. Look at how many Hydras he has, though.
Yeah, he just switched from mutas into Hydras. I think that makes a little bit of sense, but
no, it makes a ton of sense.
It's the ground army for Protoss is still good against Hydras. Like, I mean, Archons aren't the greatest, but
it's not bad. But if you can snipe with the mutas, you can snipe the Templar, and then the Hydras just overwhelm everything else.
Well, that's the plan here. We've got this Ride of the Valkyries of Scourge in the air, and they're hunting, but the Corsairs have actually kind of grouped up with the rest of Snow's army.
Yeah, it looks like he's actually trying to do a push here, but I don't know how that's not going to be an effective push. I don't think.
No,
2
especially
storms
with that SimCity that you were talking about.
Yeah, I don't think you can push into this.
I mean, never underestimate the power of Zealots. No regret.
It's so many Hydras. I will call it right now and say this game isn't balanced if these 2 Templar kill all the Hydras.
Well, we'll find out. I mean,
look at this
20 years would say it's probably pretty balanced, but let's find out how good these storms are. One already goes down. The second in the background actually kills so many Hydras and drones. And now I think Snow can just try to back out.
Yeah, I mean, he should. Although, okay,
Look at that one Archon protecting all the Corsairs.
Oh, he's
the
still
bouncer
going.
Archon.
This Hydra's a little bit off creep here. Not that it really matters, but he's out of position. Still no third base being taken yet. That's what he's brought to, though.
Yeah, the Mutas actually went back there and canceled that third, so that's kind of annoying. And really, the tipping point is, can you get a third basis Protoss? Whoa, that's pretty bad. Nice storm on the Mutas.
Oh, the Corsairs are going to kill them? Oh my god.
Yeah, but they're going to kill like all the Mutas. If they, oh, Scourge to the rescue! Retreat to a cannon.
That could have been really bad. A couple more shots on those Mutas and they would have all died.
I mean, they've taken a lot of damage. Look how bruised they are. And these aren't StarCraft 2 Mutas. They will stay damaged for a while.
Yeah. I think he's going to go into Lurker now.
You know, the next step would be getting up to Hive, probably. And yesterday we saw Modesty go Hive quite a bit with his Mutas, but that was a really different situation. And I think for right now, we're just going to macro.
Well, looks like he might be going for a push, actually. Now that the third base is trying to be taken.
Yeah.
Maybe he feels like he should put on some pressure.
Well, if you look at the surprise, or the supplies, rather, Snow is still on top. And I think these Zealots
oh my god, I don't know about this push.
Still beat everything on the ground.
I really don't like MisO being so aggressive. There are all the Lurkers I was talking about.
Yeah, that's really...
That's so many Lurkers, by the way.
Well, that's the only way you can deal with this many Zealots.
No, yeah, I agree 100%. I like the Lurkers. He still has more gas and more Lurkers, too.
Wow, he actually has so many High Templar back at home as well. So, as long as he doesn't lose the High Templar to Mutas, I think all the Mutas just died, so...
Did they?
I thought he stormed them to within an inch of their life.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the Mutas just died or not. Seems like they did, though. That's a pretty big deal.
Well, let's see how well these storms counter the Lurkers, because there's no obs, keep in mind. Well, I mean, there's only one. Okay,
there's the...
That's the opposite of none. But if that goes down, then yeah,
oh my
he's
god,
in a really,
really nice
oh,
storms.
look at these storms! There's even like a perfectly square clump of Hydras to the north.
Oh!
Oh! The storms are so good!
The storms are really good here.
I mean, oh, there's another one? Do they ever run out?
Okay, that army just got absolutely decimated.
Yeah,
Looked like he wanted to try and kill the obs, but you know, there's just so many Templar there, there's no way that would have done anything.
Yeah, and Snow was doing a really good job of protecting that Observer back in the back, so wow.
Yeah, Snow playing a great game right now.
And MisO's still trying to win this off of only 3 mining bases. As a Zerg player, you have to have, like, taken
here's the second
main.
wave of Lurkers. Oh no, your Hydra's getting caught without any Lurker support here. This is really, really bad.
And you're going to lose Overlords to the now superior air army of Snow.
Snow's economy is actually just better, too.
I mean, with Snow having a third base, you never want to be even with Protoss on bases as a Zerg player.
No. I mean, this is a make or break right here. This is probably going to be it. If this army loses, he's probably going to lose the game. Nice Storm goes off. A lot of the Hydras are going down. Tons of Zealots moving forward. It doesn't look like there's anything here really for MisO. Everything does get cleaned up. Another Storm goes down. All the Hydras are dying.
Oh, man. This
should
all
be
Snow all the time. And I think Snow finally is like, yeah, this is how my games are supposed to look. But MisO, to his kind of detriment, did kind of have an oddly passive early game that let Snow get so many storms. And you can just see that every time they fight, it's storm after storm after storm. And now finally MisO's like, maybe I should expand.
I really like how Snow's just not going to kill him. Like, it feels like you could just kill him so easily now.
Well, one surefire way to lose the game is to go try to kill your opponent before you actually
it's 140 supply to 80.
You know, a lot of times Zerg does play from a deficit because they just cycle units so quickly. But the problem is you need an economy to do that. And especially when you're taking a mineral-only base, that's not going to fuel your Hive tech.
He's still being aggressive, which is just insane. I think this is like wave number 4 of like trying to break. Like, it didn't work the first 4 times. Now it's miserably not going to work.
Oh my god, look at these storms.
I think like a couple Zealots have died, right? I don't even know if anything died. GG is called.
I think realistically, he just had to go for it. GG Snow takes game number 3. We got a series on our hands, no regret.
We do. I mean, that would look like a really nice game from Snow. If I watched that game first, I would have been like, man, this is going to be a 3-0.
Yeah, I mean, Snow looked pretty flawless. But then again, I don't think MisO really did anything super aggressive. We never saw those big, scary Hydra busts.
Well, I mean, he went for a really quick lair, and then he went straight into Spire, and he got scouted, so there just wasn't ever really anything there for MisO.
Yeah.
He was just on the back foot the entire time. I actually thought his defense would have been better than it was. Like, with the nice Sim City, he just kind of lost a lot of the Hydras. Also, the ton of Scourge were made, never really connected with anything.
Well, to Snow's credit, he did an excellent job protecting his air army. A lot of times, a movement like that where you go for a few mutas and then just so many Scourge, you're trying to catch the Protoss saying, well, I've got air superiority, because they only expect a few Scourge. And then you overwhelm them, take out their air army, use the mutas to kill the High Templar and win the game that way. But yeah, none of that happened.
It was kind of like a mind game, too, where you're just like, you're building so many Scourge. Are you sure you're not making mutas? Like... But yeah, that didn't actually happen. There were tons of Hydras. The Lurkers, actually, he lost a ton of Hydras, too, on the map for no real reason.
Yeah,
before the Lurkers were made, right?
Right.
Like, you know, he caught all his Hydras out on the map, and the lurkers started morphing. It's just like, you know,
Yeah,
he
you
could have
needed the
timed this
lurkers
out a
maybe
little bit better.
a little better.
But
Yeah, I mean, you could go back and watch that. Maybe say MisO needed to be a little bit more aggressive. I don't know, but I think the big thing is that Snow's finally kind of coming into his own. He's kind of like hitting his stride. And
yeah,
maybe that means we get a 5-game series out of this. I'd be super impressed
be
to
good,
see
yeah.
that, because I think MisO still has all of these aggressive builds that he's so known for as his trademark up his sleeves. And if Snow gets the least little bit overconfident now that he's able to take a game,
yeah.
you just lose to a Link Flood or
That's
something.
the kind of scary thing now that he's up against the ropes. But we'll have to see it be coming back.
Short break.
Yeah.
지금도 투팩.
네, 준비하고
이거
있어요.
봐요.
예.
누가 봐도 안마다 멀티하는 척이잖아요.
그렇죠.
멀티하는 척한 다음에 엇박자로 투팩 가는 거거든요.
예.
야, 이거 준비 좀 확실하게 해왔습니다.
예.
여기서 그냥 지나가다 탱크만 안 잡히면
네.
도적 대위기.
자, 지금 나오면서 일단 마린 하나 끌어줬고
네.
뒤에서 이제 대응입니다. 프로브 나와야죠.
마인이 바뀐 다음에 벙커 지어지면
네.
예, 그때부터 거의 못 뚫거든요.
예.
그렇죠. 그렇기 때문에 지금 타이밍에 한번 가서 마린이랑
예.
좀 탱크를 소모해주기 위한 건데 그러면서도 드라군을 좀 잘 지켜줘야 되는 도지혁 선수고요.
자, 하나에 들어가면
탱크,
탱크 또 하러
탱크.
왔어요. 오, 잘 맞고 있어요.
네.
아직까지.
여기서 탱크가 한 개 잡혔으면 큰일 날 뻔했어요.
이러면은 지금 본진의 그 후속이 벌쳐였기 때문에
예.
부랴부랴 지금 탱크 찍어주면서 리버도 막아내야 되는
그렇죠.
김지성 선수거든요.
자,
그게
맞이해야
어렵죠.
돼요.
그렇죠.
아, 근데 이거 리버 하나 드랍에
많이
김지성
흔들렸는데요.
선수 자원이 27이에요.
지금 운영 마비됐어요.
이거
야, 리버 하나에 흔들립니다.
네 흔들리는 수준을 넘어서
이거는
와, 리버 컨트롤.
야, 영웅이네요.
자원을 캐야
네.
뭔가 후속 병력을 찍으면서 좀 뒤를 도모하는 건데
와.
이거 일꾼 상황 자체가 도지혁 선수가
지지. 초반에 나온 드라군 컨트롤까지 하고 있는 도저.
근데 이것도 마이너-
컨트롤 좋아요.
안 됐을 때 마린 다 잡고 3드라고 지금 또 오고 있거든요.
예.
여기에 피해를 받아서 앞마당을 제대로 못 치는다?
네, 그러면
벌쳐. 와. 체력 빨간 거 바로 잡아주고요.
예. 드라군 2기로 잘 싸웠네요.
본인이 노리는 게
네.
이 팩토리였거든요.
그렇죠. 이걸 통해서 여기서 재미를 보고 마인을 다 매설해 놓으면, 그러니까 이 선수가 노림수가 항상 굉장해요. 근데 마인이 프로브로 마인을 제대로 매설하지 못하게
일단
네.
소리 하나 났었고요.
네.
반응하는.
탁탁 소리 났었어요.
하나로는 안 되거든요.
예.
그렇죠. 결국 여기서 조이기, 그러니까 마인으로 드라군을 못 오게 하면서
예.
여기 이 자원 활성화가 안 되게
예.
그렇게 해줘야죠 김지성 선수가.
여기
마인 하나.
근데 프로브를 진짜 잘 쓰네요. 드라곤이 2개 정도만 모르겠는데
네.
3개 힘들어. 그냥 앞으로 그냥 나갈 수 있죠.
자, 점사도 좋아요, 도재호.
이거 한 방.
하나 마인.
오.
아.
여러 가지로 진짜 확실히.
자, 이거 들어가면 또 이거 걷어낼 수 있는지도.
네, 시즈 모드 안 돼 있어서.
그러니까요.
시즈 모드 될 때까지 최대한 압박해야죠.
자, 툭툭 쳤는데 시즈 변환이 없습니다.
네. 그래도 여기 질러 3개.
이게 커요.
네.
이
야.
질럿이 사실 이 탱크를 잡게 되면 추가적으로 오는 드라곤과 함께 팩토리가 장악되거든요.
네.
네.
자, 시즈 모드 돼 있는 거 뒤에서 질럿이 들어가면서 바로 또 마무리. 레이스 초라하죠.
지금 웃으면서 게임하고 있죠, 도지혁 선수.
예.
레이스 보면서 나 리버 아닌데?
한방 웃음이죠. 이때.
그렇죠.
예. 완전 잘못 짚었습니다, 김지성. 자,
지지.
지지 바랍니다.
Welcome back, everybody. KSL Season 3, Day 2, Match 4.
It's a lot of
Nailed
numbers,
it.
man. I
Got
get paid
it.
enough for this.
We're moving on to Circuit Breaker 1.0.
I didn't finish math. What do you think this is?
I took way too much of math, and I can barely count, so definitely stay in school, kids. Gotta learn how to count
Wow.
your StarCraft. It's just game number 4.
I actually learned math from StarCraft.
StarCraft's just
When I try to
that's
buy
why it's the best.
I think about it in minerals. I'm like, how many minerals do you think this costs?
You try to pay for a cheeseburger and minerals, they just look at you like you're the dumbest person.
How many meals is that burger gonna cost? That's what I think. Should I use this as a scan instead, you know?
And then you realize you're trying to do it in Korea where they don't actually even know what you're saying.
They should know. This is the place where you should know the most.
Not if you speak it in...
Well, that's true. Yeah. If I can
how
speak
does the
perfect
world
Korean,
work?
though.
All right, well, hey, TvZ, it's a perfect matchup, but PvZ is also almost a perfect matchup because Circuit Breaker, I think, is the most balanced map of all time, at least statistically.
Wow. That was a very bold statement.
No, I think that's actually like
Of all time.
what it's widely known as being.
Damn.
That's why you see it in every single map pool ever, along with Fighting Spirit. Fighting Spirit's just super common. Circuit Breaker is where we're going next. And here we are. Just like I said, I would never lie to you. In the bottom, I just say it's a different map, but it says on the screen. Bottom right is Snow, and the upper left is MisO, cross-spawned on the largest map in our map pool.
Yeah, that should favor non-aggressive play, but we will see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, there's always the flip side to that is that you think that your opponent's going to play passively because it's a big map, but then they proxy in the middle of the map and guess the 30th percent.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the Zergs are really good at just like sending your drone right across. So
Yeah, I think that's kind of what you do. You cross scout.
it's better
drone.
info to know that they're close positions than anything, you know.
Yeah, I mean, well, if you scout close with your Overlord, then they could always be close in the other position, so you don't really learn anything. But by the time the Overlord gets there, you can send your drone out if you really, really want to scout.
I think the big thing is to not be getting 2-gate or something.
Yeah,
in the middle.
well, on the other side, you also want to block the expansion. At least Snow seems like he's trying to do that every single game. But
Well,
this,
not this game.
yeah, this is actually going to be a 9 pool for MisO, and probably gas afterwards.
No,
So-
it's an
overpool. Overpool.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so, wow, I saw the Overlord pop right as I said the word 9, and it was like, well, that's a little
How do
awkward.
I salvage this?
Yeah, no, I don't. So Overpool is basically the most standard build that you can go versus Protoss. It's not too greedy. It's not too, passive or active. It's just kind of, it's
Yeah.
just right. It's the Goldilocks build.
Yeah, I kind of like going for 12 hatch though, especially on a map like this where they don't necessarily scout you first. It can be really annoying if they get the probe block, but it's a little bit less common on 4-player maps in general.
Well, this is going to be the
And you can still get probe blocked if you
kind
go
of really
overpool,
annoying
by the way.
version. Yeah.
Okay, got it. That
It also
nice.
might look like that's off center, but you can tell by the doodads around it that it's actually dead center. But now you have the other problem to deal with, which is an annoying probe in your base. So that's also going to be a little bit of a struggle. But hey, you can tell on the other side that Snow is playing a little bit more respectfully, builds the Forge before the Nexus. Sometimes you'll see Protoss players that are so scared they build like Pylon, Forge, Cannon, Nexus. If they're super worried, but obviously it's cross spawns, so.
He's got a pretty quick drone scout. He might just take a third.
Well, the big thing to scout right here is the late gas coming through, because without the gas early, you're not going to have to worry about speed or a fast lair or anything crazy like that.
Oh yeah, I was talking about MisO scout.
Oh, MisO scout.
MisO scouted a Forge and then turned around immediately. Didn't care about anything else.
Nope. So yeah, basically
Look at that. It's going straight for the third too.
no zealots
Look.
out there. Nothing can be coming for you. Actually, this is interesting. He's
Yeah.
taking mineral only. I mean, I guess it's the close one, but traditionally you want to take a full base.
Yeah.
But
this
the next
might lend itself to possibly be an aggressive build then.
Yeah, you could say that, but also the next gas base that you take is kind of a leapfrog away. Either you take it at the 9 o'clock and it's a very long distance by ground because you have to cross those double bridges, or you take it at the 12 o'clock and it's still kind of far away because you're skipping that mineral.
Yeah, but
only.
if you're going to play a macro game, I don't think it matters as much. But if you're going to be aggressive, you don't necessarily need all 3 gases.
That is true.
So
Zerglings are like if the Joker was a Starcraft player, he would just build Zerglings because they're cheap. You don't need a lot of money to make them.
we see another lair. Nice, decent speeded lair. Relatively fast.
I mean, when you combine this with that hatchery timing, yes, that should kind of set some alarm bells off in Snow's head. But the bigger thing for me is that, I mean, you can't deal with this probe by now. I mean, just not even 2 Zerglings, because like we said, the speed's not going to be there. So this probe can just chill here and send all this info back to Snow in plenty of time for him to get Corsair out.
Yeah, Snow's definitely just going to get a Stargate immediately after the Cyber Core, and most likely go into a Corsair. Yeah, Zealot's going to be doing some stuff.
What is that Zealot doing?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he wants to commit, but if there were any Zerglings there, they would have found him.
I'm guessing this game is going to look pretty similar to the last one. You have to think that MisO had a better plan in mind for building a ton of Scourge, and then, you know, instead of them being totally useless, finding a way to trap the Corsairs when they come out on the map.
Yeah, possibly this map is also a lot easier to defend than the other map. Like, crossing these bridges is not very easy at all.
Well, the other thing is that the middle of this map is just way wide open. So if you ever get way out there, all right, killed the probe off. If you ever get way out there with your Corsairs, a lot of sneaky Zerg players can find ways to flank them with Scourge. So it can be a little scary.
Yeah, so far very standard though.
Yeah,
I'm quite interested to see how this map this develops, because it's a 3-base with not a third gas. So it is a little bit harder to develop that, I think, in a macro game. Pretty quick Hydra den, actually.
Yeah, and so we're going to see Scourge out of the Spire, and then Hydra's into Lurkers. And I'm guessing he wants to go up to kind of the next stage. We really haven't seen a far base taken by a Zerg player, really, I guess, in any of our series. So I'm guessing we're going to go all the way up to Lair eventually, and that should at least, I want to say, play into Snow's favor, because if he can get past dying early to Hydra Bus and get to the late game tech he's so well known for, like Reavers, and, well, I guess maybe not Carriers, but specifically Reavers, that bodes pretty well.
I mean, we're already up to 5 hatches. So, nothing too crazy going on. I'm really interested to see how this goes. He's already getting his Hydra upgrades.
Our observer was pointing out that I believe MisO has Overlords stationed at both of his outer bases, and that was something that Queen yesterday did not have. He
and got punished for.
Died to DTs so often. But also pointing out that Snow is respecting the ability to go for Scourge or Corsair or Mutas by putting cannons in his mineral lines.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if we saw any Mutas, to be honest.
It's certainly kind of an anomaly. You definitely have to have the right sort of weather conditions to go Mutas versus Protoss.
Might see some kind of Hydra link thing, but there's already Templar Archives out, so it's nothing can really punish Snow. At least it shouldn't be able to.
Yeah, if you were going to go for a big old Hydra bust right now, it'd be coming a little bit late.
Is that probe stuck?
Oh
yeah,
so
he puts it with the Corsair,
yeah,
right.
You group the probe. Well, no, because I'm glad you mentioned that, because if you're new to watching StarCraft 1 and you see a stuck probe back there, you're like, what is that thing doing?
You're like, I'm going to recall that out of there.
So the way that you micro your Corsairs, you see how they're all clumped up on top of each other, is you group a probe that is stuck with them, and then it forces them all to like clump up on each other, and it makes.
It's really interesting how that mechanic works in general.
Yeah, because how do you program a game just normally, and by the way, that sneaks in?
And then people figure it out, and you start doing it in professional games too.
So crazy. Love Brood
This
War.
is a lot of Hydras.
It
It's
is
going to be a pretty big push here.
So I'm kind of interested into why Snow went for so many Corsairs and they didn't actually scout that much. We're pointing out that there's only one cannon build, and wait, does he?
That does not have a storm either.
It does not have a storm. There's
oh
my goodness. Well,
yeah, this is quite scary.
Okay,
he just morphs into an Archon. That's really bad, actually.
No way, that is the ultimate admission of defeat here.
Yeah, I don't think he actually has much here. 3 cannons on the way. He needs to buy time for it. I would not mind seeing the probes be pulled here, but there's nothing really here right now.
The Hydras didn't even pull back when the Zealots came out there. They don't even care. They are.
Oh, he's going for the Overlords, and the DT just popped out. Okay, there's
so
3 more Overlords. Okay, he just
speed.
lost all of them.
And with the Archon down, the Overlord survived. The DT's out of there. GG. Snow taps out, and
yep.
Damn, MisO.
MisO not having it.
Yeah, no. He's like, oh, okay.
I like this. I like this a lot more than building the Mutas after they got scouted so easily. It actually kind of plays into the second game too, because the first game he got it scouted really early, and then he went for the Mutas. The second game, Snow kind of had to respect that because it happened already, and then just died.
Well,
so,
I think Snow kind of has himself to blame a little bit for that one.
It's hard to go back in and scout, actually.
Yeah, but the reason you go Corsairs is to get out there and...
oh, you mean with the Corsairs? I thought he was out on the map with the Corsairs.
No, he kind of kept them huddled in a scared little ball in his main.
You know what happens when you see Scourge?
You get scared because you think there's as many as the previous game, which was a mind game.
Exactly. So
brain blown.
maybe even MisO was planning on losing that game in like a strategic kind of mental way, you know?
Well, I don't think anybody plans
Well,
on
not
losing.
planning on losing it, but
You're
if he
right.
loses it in that way, it
He's
plays into the final game where he can
sowing
use
the
the information.
seeds of
Right.
misdirection, you could say.
Exactly.
There's one of those brain blown emojis for that, so you guys can tweet with the hashtag KSL on that emoji. And
We also could just be looking into this too much, but
everybody
that's what it
will
feels
know
like.
what's going on. Yeah, that's that would definitely be some big brain tactics there. But I mean, either way, I think it's safe to say that MisO is really starting to flesh out as a player. And I think if you look at any of the players, specifically in this group, I think MisO has maybe the most potential. I think Snow, when you have a super weak matchup and a super strong matchup, maybe you bop flash and make it to the finals off of being good versus Terran. That's happened to Snow.
Yeah.
Maybe you get only Zergs and you lose terribly and you look like you don't deserve to be in the tournament. All I'm trying to say is that I think for the most part, MisO is really starting to come into his own. And
I think
really
Snow
think
has a lot of potential if he just rounds himself out. Like,
I mean, that's easier said than done. When
I
you're
know
going
it's
up against
easier said than done, but if you
super
already have a really sick matchup and you can just kind of fix your other matchups, you look so scary.
Well, yes, if he can fix that matchup, I think he'll do pretty well. Because don't forget, Shine is in this group, and so he'll eventually have to beat Shine to advance. Or I guess maybe if Sashin loses the next series, then
Yeah.
he can get that versus Terran matchup.
I mean, this group should be pretty good for MisO, right?
You would think so, yeah.
Especially because he won the hashtag 20 whatever.
Yeah, 20th anniversary tournament. He beat Shine
Moscow,
in the finals
yeah.
for that one. And that's a little bit of an anomaly, but I think it does show you that MisO might be the more fundamentally solid player.
Yeah, he looked really solid this game too.
Well, also, I
All
don't know
these
what to
games.
expect from Shine, because coming up in our next series, we get to watch Shine play, and man,
No one gets to expect Shine though. You don't get to expect what's coming from him.
You know, MisO will kind of know what to expect because he's played Spawn Bangs versus Shine online, and he's also been against Shine in some of these tournaments that have been going on stream. So I don't know what to expect, and in truth, no one does. But coming up next, we'll find out. We have Sashin, or Ample, playing off against the Bagam Zerg Shine.